All right, what's up, jobbers? It is your boy BQ, by Elegance, of course. This is the Negative BQ YouTube channel. This is the Lounge. This is your TNA Impact review for 12/18/2025. I did it again the second week in a row, 2025. 2025. What's going on with me? Anyway, let's get into this episode of TNA Impact. Of course, we are taking a break again next week. I think Yellowbone put it out on Twitter, man. This is going to be their sixth throwaway episode of the year. They're doing a surprise battle royal or something like that. It's probably the Hometown Man Invitational, but it's another throwaway episode next week. So I do have some ideas so I can get some content out. I won't completely take a break like I normally do, like I like to do. But I got something for your ass. So let's do this. Enough talking. Let's get into this episode of TNA Impact.
TNA Impact. Oh.
Your ring announcer, as always, is Mackenzie Mitchell.
Ding bong, ding dong, he's Stone Cold Aye.
All right, and we are kicking this thing off with a 20-man battle royal.
I'm here for the gangbang.
And man, this was not a very good battle royal for many reasons, but it's a throwaway battle royal for a throwaway number one contender for a throwaway episode for a throwaway champion. And when you throw all these things into consideration, there's very little drama in the match. The competitors in the match, aside from Moose, and I'll say the Rascals, with the Rascals are tag team wrestlers, it was a jobber battle royal. Let's be serious with ourselves. Let's not, oh, Jake something was in it. Like, come on, seriously. Turkey Suit legend Ryan Nemeth was in here. One that loses the match, gets a turkey suit, automatically has an opportunity to be number one contender for the X Division Championship and number one contender for the world title. So that is the road of the turkey suit. I mean, there were some people in here, Rich Swann, obviously the debuting Bear Bronson, who won this thing. Brock Anderson's fat ass was in there. So not that he's gonna do anything with TNA, but I'm saying like there were some names, but for the most part, it was just there. I'm always talking about this. Get as many people on the show as possible to pay them. Like that's what this freaking match is. We are void of storytelling when it comes to these number one contenders. It is throw as many people as possible in a match. Whoever wins is number one contender. There's just absolutely no story getting up to this stuff, and they're not going to put that kind of effort in because Frankie Kazarian probably is going to be a champion for a long time. I mean, I would imagine he's not. And I think we expect him to lose it at Genesis. He might lose it before then. Who the hell knows? This is just that world title that Scott D'Amore promised them once upon a time, and they said, "Hey, we put the belt on you. It's going to be for 30 seconds, but here it is." But yeah, my point was you factor all these things into it. It's not a serious match. The eliminations were bullshit. I mean, just punching someone and they go over the top rope kick. I mean, there was no drama whatsoever. No one holding on to the ropes. You do one move to the outside, the person's eliminated. The way that Eric Young double clothesline Moose and Cedric Alexander at one point, I mean, they eliminated themselves. And I was curious how they were going to eliminate Moose. Real anticlimactic. So overall, it was not a strong battle royal. Eric Young was last three with Ryan Nemeth and Bear Bronson. AJ Francis got involved, furthering whatever they're going to do with him and Rich Swann. But yeah, those were the last three. Ryan Nemeth was eliminated. And, Hometown Man was in this thing. Like, anyway, back to what I was saying. Ryan Nemeth was eliminated. Eric Young thought he was the winner at one point, eliminated Bear Bronson. And then Bear Bronson comes in, eliminates him, and delays the cleanse until December 31st of 2029 at 11:59 p.m. And then ultimately the winner of this thing in his debut TNA style is Bear Bronson.
If you ever see me fighting in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear.
I am semi-familiar with him, watching him in AEW because he was there when I was watching. I don't recall ever seeing them to win anything. You know, they were on the show. They weren't regulars, but they were on the show. I don't recall them ever. I don't recall ever seeing them win. I was like kind of disappointed that they just kind of debuted this dude and made him the number one contender. You know, it seems like they want to do something with him though, and I'm all for. I know usually with the WWE names, I'm like, dude, stop bringing in people from WWE and shooting them to the top. AEW is not WWE, and AEW has a lot of wrestlers doing nothing over there. That man, it's honestly not that much different than just scouting the indies regular, you know, like pulling someone who wasn't on TV because these people aren't on TV. AEW and Ring of Honor have these like deep rosters of people that wrestle once a year. So if you want to bring them in and do something with them, I'm okay with that. I don't view it the same way as bringing in recycled WWE talent. You know what I mean? Or recycling WWE talent. They bringing the same guys through they do like Cardona or or you know when wrestlers are released, fired, contract not extends but ends, and they just bring them in and shotgun them to the world title. You know that stuff. That's just not fun. It's not fun for anybody except for them. TNA loves that shit. They get off. So he was interviewed after the match.
I will kill you.
By GM Miller. And you notice these GM Miller segments. I don't even know if this was directly after the match or not, but I know Gia interviewed him. Ever since I've been like, I'm always talking Queen of the Second segment. It was like match, Gia Miller, match, Gia Miller. Every single time we kick off a new episode of Impact, they've been like throwing her at different parts of the show now so that it just comes off more organic. And that was my whole point. You know, here I'm okay with her interviewing the winner after this, but use Gia in a more organic way than the storyboard match Gia Miller segment. His promo was okay. Bear Bronson, he sounded okay. He's letting you know in advance he's a garbage wrestler. So if they want to bring him in and do something with him, I'm all for it. If you want to bring him in and have so he can have death matches, you're going to turn me off real quickly. So I really hope that's not what they do. So, next match that we had here, let me run through the sound bites real quick. I watched a little bit of this. It was the Diamond Collective, Tessa Blanchard.
Oh, I don't like this. That if the Nuggets don't win this.
Mila Moore.
Get me out of here!
Tessa's black friend, Victoria Crawford.
My favorite match was with Melina and Alicia Fox.
And I'll say real quick, Jobbert Stone.
That garbage out of here!
This was a tag team match. They went up against the TNA World Champion or Knockouts World Champion for some reason was introduced first in this match first on her team, but it was
From Ching Chong, China.
Laying Lee and her partner, Queen of the Rubber match, Zaya Brookside. All right, so I told you guys I would not watch segments featuring Jobbert Stone. But I wanted to see this. I wanted to see Tessa and Mila wrestle together. And I have a hard time not watching Zaya Brookside when she wrestles. And I'm trying to invest myself in Laying Lee as a champion, So I'm like, let me try to watch this match. I got into it a little bit. Is Mila Moore wrestling in lingerie, by the way? Is that her gimmick? That's what her gear looks like. Anyway, if that's fine if that's what she wants to do, but anyway, yeah, man, I was watching the first few minutes of this. I had a hard time getting into it when they were showing Jobbert Stone on TV. Every time they showed his face or him running around the ring, I ended up fast forwarding this. So it's disappointing because I kind of like the Diamond Collective name. I like the group. I don't like him, obviously, and I don't really care for Victoria Crawford, but as far as Tessa and Mila together as a team, I'm interested. But I told you guys I'm not going to review anything he's a part of, so you're just not going to hear me speak on the Diamond Collective going forward. That's just how it is. But I did fast forward to the end of this match. Laying Lee pins Mila Moore with this spinning face buster that looks like fucking shit. I think the kick is a better move. This is a better move if she can land it. It just, they always have to cut to a different angle because it just never hits clean. It's just not. I don't think it's a good move for her. I think she's strong enough to pull it off, but something is just not. It's just not working. So just go back to the kit, girl. But Mila Moore and Tessa Blanchard lose. Mila Moore and Victoria Crawford have lost in the past. Like this team is losing, losing, losing. But don't worry, because when Genesis rolls around, they will be number one contenders, along with the Elegance brand. Which my new background here is a work in progress. By the way, I just wanted to get something new up. But trust me, it's going to be the Inspiration versus the Elegance brand versus Mila Moore and Tessa Blanchard. There's probably going to be another team in there too. It could be late. Nah, it's possible. Even though she's a champion, Lang Lee and Zaya Brookside could be in there, or it could be. I felt like there was another team on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, it could be. Oh, okay. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking about Rosemary and Killer Kelly because last week they did a teaser. Inspiration had cut a promo, and I forgot to talk about it. And then Rosemary pops up out of nowhere. It was for a match for Explosion. I'm all for if you want to make Explosion a thing and you want to tie it into the show, which they've tried to do a couple times and they never commit to it. If you want to try to do that, then do it. But I think people actually want to see Killer Kelly and Rosemary as a team. So why throw it on Explosion? So they teased it last week and then it's done. It's over with. It's gone. The match happened. But I mean, I guess that could be the fourth team if you're trying to do the TNA thing and throw everyone on the show. So we'll see. But don't worry about the Diamond Collective losing here. They'll be wrestling for the title here in about 30 days or so. And then so after the match, Gia Miller again, she is interviewing Lang Lee and Zaya Brookside. Well, she's really interviewing Lang Lee about Danny Luna. And, I give them props. I thought they were going to use Zaya Brookside as her handler, I'm saying like her mouthpiece. And they kind of do to an extent. Zaya Brookside is now fluent in Chinese, which I'm very, very impressed with. They're doing it to an extent, but they're letting Lang Lee talk. They're not shying away from saying, hey, you have an accent. English is your second language. So you're just going to stand there. They realize in order for her title run to mean something, she's got to talk a little. I don't think she should have a mic in the ring. I think if you do that, it's going to go fucking tits up. But doing these little backstage segments and then you kind of have Zaya Brookside to bounce off her a little bit, that's going to work. I'm still convinced Zaya Brookside's turning on her and could be the Genesis match. Could be. If not, it'll be. I think it's coming down the road because I've told you guys the last few weeks when you start throwing away the word "I respect this person," this is my best friend. They turn. That's just what happens. The problem is Zaya is such a natural baby face that it's hard to see the cracks. Like the other wrestlers who are bad actors will give it away ahead of time. Hannafin might even be giving it away on commentary like he normally does. I'm just, I watch so much of the show on mute, so I don't know if he is. But after the match, Zaya Brookside handed her the title, and that's usually where you see the little bit of dissension or the person handing the title looking down at it real quick. But instead, she handed it to her very happy and giddy and go lucky and gave her a hug. Like she's just such a natural baby face. I've always thought she was a pretty good actress, so it's hard now. It's hard for me to buy my own prediction because usually they telegraph it, like I said, and it's not. I'm just going off the Easter eggs. The greatest prediction of the future is the past, and historically throughout wrestling, the minute someone's your best friend, they're turning on you. So we'll see. It kind of just depends on where the program with Danny Luna goes. Speaking of Danny Luna, the leader of the Mewtwo movement.
God damn, bit like Mewtwo?
She did a little video promo backstage. Sounded very, very good. We are, I think, as TNA fans, really looking forward to what she could potentially do as a champion or just if they really get behind her. I personally think the look is going to hold her back a little bit. She can be champion. They're not going to put her on NXT. I don't see that. But as far as really building someone in TNA that could go down as one of the better knockouts one day, like we're seeing the beginning of it. I really think we are, and she'll improve things along the way, within her character. But we're looking forward to it. After this, we got an Elijah concert.
Nurture me, brother. We both.
This is the worst song I've ever heard.
I think I'm starting to come around on Elijah. He just has a presence about him that the other wrestlers don't have. Even Mike Santana doesn't have it. He has a presence when he gets in there and starts talking on the mic. I mean, everyone's it sounds ridiculous for me to compare him to The Rock. But you know how like when The Rock is speaking, you can tell everyone in the arena is listening. Again, I'm not comparing him to The Rock, but Elijah has a little bit of that in him. Mike Santana doesn't even have that. There's something about these Elijah promos. He has a very good promo. He is very natural. It comes off like he is just speaking to us normal, and he has the delivery of someone who's doing. If you go to a concert and it's John Mayer or something like that, he has that delivery of like speaking to 15, 20, 25,000 people and being very and just knowing how to kind of have the crowd play into his palm a little bit. Starting to come around on him. So we'll see if that changes. But I'm kind of digging it so far. So I'm starting to dig it. I'm not digging it so far. I'm coming around though. So he does this concert. He is interrupted by Tasha Steelz.
Got a badass over here.
And she sets up a podium and she's telling the crowd silencio. I thought it went a little long. I thought Tasha Steel's part went a little bit long. I don't think she was prepared for the crowd to boo as much as they were. And even Elijah had to step in and was like, get to the point, lady, His interaction with her was really good. He was just I think he was doing it off the cuff as well. That's what was starting to kind of impress me. I don't think it was in the script, so to speak. I think he saw the crowd was I think he saw Tasha Steelz losing the crowd. She was going too long. They were chanting, and coming from the WWE environment where fans oftentimes try to get themselves over, like he knows how to work with that. So that's what I'm saying. Like he was really impressing me here. Mustafa Ali ends up coming out. Ultimately, again, talking a little bit too long. I really thought the horse dragging him on the horse was kind of silly, but it's whatever. I am getting into this feud just a little bit. So moving on, we had another video promo by Indy Hartwell.
How long did it take you to learn English once you got here?
It was really easy because we speak English in Australia, you fucking idiot.
It was very important that they got Indy Hartwell on the show this week after losing the dog collar match. They had to get her in some way, shape, or form, because if she was not on the show at all, she would have kind of fallen into, even though we were talking about one episode, I think if she wasn't on, she would start to be forgotten a little bit. Like they got to keep her on the screen. Now, I was saying last week, I wonder what's next. She lost the dog collar match. What is next? How are they going to handle her going forward? And she's letting you know that she's firmly still in the title picture. She's probably still going to wrestle for the title at Genesis. I was hoping they were going to back her off, but I have her and Lang Lee wrestled yet? I don't think they've wrestled for the title yet. And this is TNA, so multi-person matches are possible at all times. So it probably could be Indy Hartwell, Lang Lee, and Danny Luna at Genesis. Might even throw a fourth person in there. Might even throw Xia Brookside in there. If they want to do the story of that's how she wins a title. Who knows? You know what I mean? But they're letting us know Indy Hartwell is going to be champion. It is going to happen. I thought they potentially pulled the plug on her, but I think they're trying to, like with Lang Lee, even though the story didn't last really long, they were kind of doing this can't get over the hump type story with her, and then she eventually gets over the hump. The hump lasted fucking 2 months, you know what I'm saying? But it was really, really rushed. However, they were doing that. It appears they're trying to do that with Indy Hartwell to an extent, of someone who just cannot win the big one. That just seems like where they're going. Scott D'Amore would have never done this. Scott D'Amore would have put the title on her. She'd be a 2-time champion by now under Scott D'Amore. So yeah, that seems like that's kind of where they're trying to go. But I thought it was very important that they got on the show. There was a lot of talking on the show. We had Moose.
Damn you, Moose.
And he was letting us know he's never cashed in his rematch for the X Division Championship, which I never even thought about that. But I mean, TNA only does. That's why I give Hannafin such a hard time with his contractually jerking off, fucking like, because not everyone gets their rematch. Trick Williams, where's Trick Williams to challenge for the title again? You know what I'm saying? Like, they just do it when it's convenient. That's why I had the running joke with Laredo Kid that he was the #1 contender for the Digital Media Championship, because it was just like they'll take the title off someone, and it's just convenient when they want them to have a rematch. So Moose wanted, he said, we want to get Leon Slater Moose too. We had Cedric Alexander walk in.
My name is Optimus Prime.
And man, this sounded like a heel promo. The last time we heard him speak to, I say the last time, but it was a couple months ago to Leon Slater. It sounded like a heel. Like, it just feels like the heel thing is coming with him. Just does. He was telling Moose that's revoked. My assumption is that Cedric Alexander will wrestle. Right, they're probably gonna have him on the AMC debut, wrestle for the championship, and then Genesis. It'll be the three of them, and then Cedric Alexander will win at Genesis, win the title there. So that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing multi-person matches for all these fucking titles. It's just what they do. I mean, they're not going to do it any different. Man, what did we have after this? Another segment backstage with King of the Block Party.
It's a block party. I'm not playing with y'all, bro.
TNA Jobber World Champion Frankie Kazarian, and he was talking to Elvis on the wall. Dude, is Elvis over in El Paso? What is Elvis doing? Did he record this in El Paso, or is this somewhere else? That was just kind of weird. BQ was over in El Paso, but I don't know if Elvis is. I don't know. So he cut a little promo here. He was fine. No one's buying him as a champion because we all know it's not going to last very long. They had an opportunity to kind of tell a decent story with this two champion or two winner call your shot thing. But really what it is they wanted Nick Nemeth to win, which I predicted he would, but they couldn't get any dates on him. So they had to find a way to do something to keep him semi-relevant on TV, and then someone to hold his place. So I think Nick Nemeth was probably supposed to win the gauntlet. I think he was probably, and they had an opportunity to put the title on Frankie, which they probably promised him. But I think the original plan was probably for Nick Nemeth to win and then cash in on Santana when he did. But they couldn't get the dates on Nick Nemeth. So they had to do two winners. That's what I think. And I think once Nick Nemeth ultimately cashes in and wins, we'll know the story. I think we'll know like the real backstage story once that cash in happens, or whatever it is that he does. Maybe he loses. I don't know. But once it happens, I don't think he's going to lose, though. I think he's going to win it back. Once it happens, we're going to know exactly what it is. So it wasn't like, hey, we're going to do something different. Two winners. We're going to try to do a story where they're, interrupting each other from cashing in. Like, there was something they could have done, and that's not what we got. So again, to repeat myself, once it all plays out, I think the story is going to be crystal clear to us that it was something like that Frankie was just a placeholder since they couldn't get dates on Nick Nemeth. So we'll see if that's what they do. And with Ryan Nemeth having all these #1 contenders matches, maybe he's filling in for Ryan Nemeth as well. Who knows? But yeah, I thought Kazarian's promo was cool, and he said that the belt cannot fit around Bronson's waist. So we'll see, man. Because I mean, this is going to be his first one-on-one match. Is he going to lose? Is Baron Bronson going to lose his first match? We will see. We will see. And now it is main event time.
Oh, and I kick out.
There was over 50 people on this fucking episode. There was, with the promos, like, man, it probably like got up to like 60 people. Damn near 60. I'm gonna say, yeah, that's an insane amount of people to be on an episode. But anyway, the main event was the steel cage match. It was essentially like a lethal lockdown. Everyone ran down at intervals, and it is 5-on-5.
I'm here for the gangbang.
So we had Brooke Hogan.
Who?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Who looked like fucking what the hell, Michael McGillicuddy, freaking Curtis Axel, but homeless. And then his partners were Lexi King.
The Indiana Fever select Lexi Hull.
Lexus King, my bad. And then he was with Tank.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care. I'm here to
Tyrese.
tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Sticks.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
And they're taking on the TNA team. And this was in the order that they entered. We had Mike Santana.
That's nasty.
Steve Macklin.
I do the ass kicking around here.
Wait your turn, jarhead.
Matt Hardy.
Wonderful.
Jeff Hardy.
Jeff.
And the captain. I didn't even talk about it on the review last week that he put himself into this match when Matt Cardona was injured, and it is Santino.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Oh man, this match, the cage looked very good. Let's get that positive out of the way. They had a problem last time they were in El Paso. They said, we need a cage. They ordered a cage. It came from Home Depot, and they had to use it. Okay, this was a really good looking cage. But wasn't the last cage in El Paso as well? Like, is a cage in El Paso? I don't know. But it's a good looking cage. Everyone was looking forward to this because we don't get cage matches. We get no DQ. We get street fight. We get that bullshit every week. But we get a cage finally. People are really, really looking forward to this, seeing how it's going to look. The TNA ring is so small, man. It is, for 10 people to be in there is fucking crazy for a tag team match. But the action was fine. But as far as like the logic loopholes of this thing, they're all coming down. And at one point, Matt Hardy comes down to the ring. So Tank has entered already. Matt Hardy comes down. Tyrese comes down seconds later and takes him out. Okay? Mike Gilbert talked about this too on his show. So they're whooping Matt Hardy's ass. Tyrese gets in there, and it's because these guys look exactly the fucking same, and all these interchangeable tag team. They're not going to sit here and count down Tank and Tyrese. They give us one of them, whatever. They get the other one in the ring. It's a 4-on-2 match at this point. It is a 4-on-2 beatdown. What does the rest of Team TNA do? Excuse me. What does the rest of Team TNA do? They wait in the back, waiting for their number to be called. There are no rules in this match. I'm surprised you can even nitpick the Royal Rumble. Like, why are people coming down at intervals? Come down when the fuck you want. Now it's different for the Royal Rumble because you want to be a last man standing. You want your interval. But something like this, what is the benefit other than you being fresher? Like, if you need to get to the ring, get to the ring. But because they wanted to respect the rules of the match, they wait in the back. So Matt Hardy's laying there dead. The team is getting their ass whooped. Jeff Hardy waits the 2-minute interval to come down, and then he runs and checks on Matt Hardy. And then he goes in the ring, and he's wrestling. All right? And then Styx comes down. And then after this, again, just logic loopholes, folks. The Righteous Brothers music hits.
The Righteous are reportedly signing with WWE.
The Wrongtious. All right? They're coming down to the ring. My grandfather with Parkinson's disease used to walk faster than that. They take almost the entire 2 minutes to get to the ring. and pick up Matt Hardy and carry him off. And then 20 seconds later, Santino Morella's music hits and he comes out to wrestle in the match. Are these motherfuckers not in Gorilla? What? He's the authority figure. Why didn't he stop them from going down there? You're going to tell me the Righteous got past Santino backstage all the way down to pick Matt Hardy up, and Santino just watched it? They had to have crossed paths backstage, right? Santino came out 20 seconds later. Almost like, well, why didn't they just wait for Santino to come down and get in the match and then come pick Matt Hardy up? Because we have wrestlers booking wrestlers. That is why. Logic, loopholes. And then there's always, it's pro wrestling. Don't take it so seriously. Bro, could you imagine if you're watching the Avengers and someone's like, oh man, it's just a superhero movie. Don't take it so seriously. So let's just fucking phone it in. Nothing needs to make sense. That's why TV shows, that's why movies, that's why fucking Broadway plays, fucking musicals, community theater. That's why that shit gets over with the audience, because it makes sense. And they try to put some kind of logic into it. But then you see this and it just comes off fake and phony, fucking phony bullshit. And it's hard to like really invest yourself into the match. And then, given all of this, the TNA team TNA who gets the 4-on-2 beatdown there and all this shit. By the way, has a babyface team ever had the advantage in these matches? I'm gonna say no. But anyway, given all these things, Team TNA wins. Santino hits the Cobra, and then Santana rolling back 50. And then that's it. Match over. Now, Santino put this match together because he said, we're going to end this once and for all, but you just put the fucking international title on Stinks. So it's obviously not over. We know it's not over. Ariana Grande comes into the ring after this to congratulate her father, nutshots him. I won't say this was predictable, but I think we could kind of see this coming. You know, I think it was in the back of our heads, hey, Ariana Grace might turn on him. We weren't sure, but I think it was sitting in the back of everyone's mind. That is very, very possible. I'm okay with the turn. You know, Ariana and Stinks against Santino. That's going to be a story. So Santino is going to start dominating even more of the show here soon because he's going to have to wrestle more. Santino is winning the international championship, folks. I don't know what to tell you. Steve Macklin is not getting this thing back. He's a two-time champion already, so they're probably going to conveniently forget about his contractually obligated rematch. We're going to get Santino and Stinks at Genesis. Santino is probably going to win the belt. So prepare for that. Prepare for that, folks. Because Santino is over. You know what else is over? This show. That is going to do it for me. Obviously, there's no episode next week, but I got a couple things in mind. At least I'll do a mailbag if I don't have time for what I'm trying to do, but we'll at least get a mailbag in there. That'll do it for me. I'm your boy, BQ, and I'm out. Peace.